Bitcoin prices have made a bit of a move after a few days of sideways action. It's looking bullish. We're going to dig into our RSI and our MACD indicator, but another indicator is flashing a reversal signal right now. So we're going to take a look at that in this video. We'll also take a look at Bitcoin dominance, what's going on with the altcoins, and a special section at the end that I've been waiting to do on what's going on with the world markets compared to Bitcoin prices. It is an action-packed episode here today, and so I have chapters down below where you can click and skip ahead to the section that interests you the most. I want to thank you for joining me for another Bitcoin Trading TA video. If you like the content, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. It helps me get more viewers, and subscribe so that you get the notifications of when the next videos come out. Let's jump right into Bitcoin and zoom into the 5-minute time frame. We can see that this has been a pretty wild 48 hours with some pretty unexpected moves and reversals right away. We've been paying attention since the 4-hour EMA crossed positive as a buy signal for a small position, and then our 12-hour EMA has crossed positive to buy for a larger position. But now we have to manage our stop loss as the prices are moving after this and manage our risk. For our indicators, here looking at the 12-hour time frame of Bitcoin, we're looking at the RSI, and we see how the RSI broke this downtrend on the 12-hour time frame and the same downtrend on the 4-hour time frame. It broke above this downtrend of the indicator, and then it's come back and it's tested from above and held there and showed strength. And this is really good for the long-term bull market for what we're seeing here. Really watching now for the RSI to remain above this level all the way along as it bounces up and pulls back, bounces up and pulls back, mainly to stay above this level throughout the next stages of this bull wave. The other important indicator we've been watching for this turnaround is the MACD. We've been watching for the 4-hour and the 12-hour to break this trend line and have the MACD cross above it. So we saw that both now on the 4-hour earlier, and we saw it now on the 12-hour. And we are essentially following along with the plan that we saw break out through this point here now and continuing up as prices are moving. So we're going to continue watching to see that the 12-hour MACD stays crossed positive all the way along here. And as we're moving up, it will be okay if we're watching this and we go into the 4-hour time frame. We pull this back. See, in the 4-hour time frame, we can zoom in here and we can see that the 4-hour crossed negative and then went positive, crossed negative considerably as prices were slowly rising up here before it crossed positive and we got a little blow off top there. So the 4-hour MACD is going to have some variability. It's going to have the chance to cross back and pull forward again, but the 12-hour should not. And this is a really important indicator as we're moving along with this to be sure that we are staying on that uptrend and that we are not pulling out of it and dropping down. So we'll be watching the 4-hour and the 12-hour MACD. But there is an indicator right now that's flashing a reversal. Before we get to that, I just want to take 1 second to look at the Ichimoku Cloud here on the daily time frame. The other video the other day, we were watching how prices were coming right to the edge of the bottom of this cloud, that if we dropped out of this, it would be a very bearish start. And fortunately, we've bounced up and above that. The blue line is crossed above the red line. We're going up above this cloud. So this is all looking pretty bullish. Yet we've been up above that cloud before. We had that blue line cross before, and we did pull back massively afterwards. So it's not a guarantee just because we're seeing this setup. It's good. I like it. It's a positive, but it isn't a guarantee yet, especially when we take a look at what's going on here in the 4-hour time frame of the Bollinger Bands. As prices have moved out quickly here, they've broken temporarily above the third standard deviation. Whenever the price moves outside this second band, it has the potential to revert very quickly back to the other side of the bands. And right now, the 4-hour Bollinger Bands are at a very, very historically narrow range right now. And the more narrow the Bollinger Bands get, it indicates that there's a big move building up and coming. It doesn't really tell us which direction, but that we're doing a potential mean reversion right now means that it could quickly move back down to 42,500, 42,000 from this range, just to wreck all the people who have taken on really large leveraged trades right here. They've taken on too large of a position, their leverage is too high, their stop losses are too close, and the artificial intelligence bots can see this. They can see across all of the exchanges all at the same time, all of the liquidity, all of the orders, all of the longs and the shorts, and they can put all of this big data together, and they can see exactly how much money they need to dump into the market to hit everybody's stops, to push the price down, and they've already got their buy orders down here waiting to go. So we always have to be aware that this kind of stuff really does happen, and that we should keep our stop losses aware of this range. And of course, the price is going to change before this video is completed. So we are always talking about the price of the coin over on our Discord channel. There's a bunch of us guys that are always monitoring the prices. But you can always go over and search out the Bitcoin Liquidation Watch and see what's going on with the prices in real time. See the big orders going by, and down near the bottom in the corner here, you can see where the liquidations are built up. The bears and the bulls, you can see the little sign here beside each of them. When the market gets really active, this makes a lot of noise. It's great to have off in the corner as I'm busy with other things, and I can quickly take a look at the market when I do hear it getting noisy. Now let's take a quick look at what's going on with Bitcoin dominance and how that's affecting the alts right now. Then we'll finish up with our look at the world markets compared to Bitcoin prices. So this is Bitcoin dominance right now, and if we put Bitcoin prices up in the background, we can see that dominance generally has been rising while Bitcoin prices have been falling, but Bitcoin prices have turned around and started to show strength, and Bitcoin dominance is holding its own or rising with Bitcoin right now. As Bitcoin dominance is rising, it means that the alts are losing ground versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin is growing in US dollar value faster than the altcoins when dominance is rising. And so when dominance is rising, as a general rule, we want to have our money in Bitcoin until dominance makes a top formation and starts to drop again, and then we want to put our money into the alts. But it's not always true this way. Right now we have 24 coins in alert position, which means that they're just about to cross over the 12-hour EMA and turn into a hold status. We can see in the Crypto SmartWatch control panel, we have 24 coins in alert status right now. There are a group of coins that are moving up in value versus Bitcoin. They are being as strong as Bitcoin or a little bit stronger. Overall, the alts are losing power, and we can see that in dominance rising, but there are some coins that are the exception, and we want to keep those in our portfolio. And now for what might be the most important part of this video. We can see here I've zoomed in to the 1 hour time frame of Bitcoin in blue with the S&P 500 in candles here. Just over this past week or so, S&P 500 has been continuing to exhibit weakness while Bitcoin has been showing strength. So they were matching each other pretty well throughout this period of time, but recently Bitcoin seems to have broken that. We're going to find out now, is Bitcoin the leader that's showing the strength and the money is coming back, and that the S&P 500 is going to come along with it afterwards? Or is S&P the actual leader and Bitcoin is going to be dragged down to follow along with it? We don't know yet, but I do like to see what's going on with gold right now compared to Bitcoin prices on the 1 hour time frame. We can see that gold has made a bottom at the same time as Bitcoin here. It's shown some strength, not as much as Bitcoin, but pretty good to see the strength there rather than the softness in S&P. Silver prices did the same thing. They did a pullback and they've made a bottom at the same time that Bitcoin did that fourth hit off the bottom. It's showing strength as Bitcoin's going up. When we go into copper futures, this is pretty interesting actually. Copper is a really core indicator of economic growth. So as copper is being used up, its price goes up. So we can see that it made a really good run right up to very much the same time as Bitcoin topped out. So did copper. It's come back and it's made a better looking bottom formation, I must say, than Bitcoin. It's got these 3 higher lows and the series of lower highs consolidating down to what would be, for me, a really nice 1, 2, 3 formation. The 12-hour EMA has not crossed positive on copper yet as a buy signal, but as it's consolidating and it starts to break higher than these levels here in copper, as Bitcoin's moving up and silver and gold, I'm very bullish in the whole market of everything going up very, very much higher. And of course, Bitcoin has such a small amount of market cap still compared to the other world markets. Bitcoin is going to go up in value at a percentage gain faster than most of the other world markets. And altcoins are going to go up even faster than that. So natural gas is also considered to be important for a measure of economic growth and economic development. And this is on a parabolic rise. Like this is looking like it's going to be going to $10 per. And if I go into a 1 week view of this, it's been there before. And it looks like it's going parabolic, like it's going to hit that $10 to $15 range in natural gas, which is showing that worldwide there's a big pickup in economic activity. Now, gold will follow, oil will follow. I imagine that Bitcoin is going to follow, and that the U.S. government spending is going to open up to a whole new level, and the S&P 500 and the stock market is also going to break out to new highs. We have another couple years yet before total catastrophe hits us. And what's going to happen in the meantime is that there's going to be an enormous value switch as everybody is jumping ship over to the cryptocurrencies before the implosion of the fiat currency system. And that's it for this episode. We wrap up with prices not quite hitting $50,000 yet. We'll see what turns out. Be sure to trade smart and keep those losses small.